reaching for the chocolates.
I just had chocolate, so I was handing out treats.
Well, Santa's been here this morning too.
Here's a color version of that.
Thank you. Hey.
Sounds like Sally's son Spencer's gonna be working later today.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh, to help her out.
Oh, there.
Is he in college?
Was gonna be a pharmacist and then changed to doctor.
Oh, really? Well, that's a big change.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
All right, say the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Consider for approval minutes and agenda.
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes in the agenda.
Second it.
A motion from Smith and a second from Jensvold to approve the minutes and agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, motion carries. Discussion with possible action regarding COVID-19 policies.
Good morning.
Morning, Julie.
How are you guys all today?
Healthy.
Good. Good to hear. Good to hear. Last 14 days, we're at 14%. The last 7 days, we are at 15%, and we've had 47 positive cases in the last 7 days. Our county has reached the 50% mark of being vaccinated, fully vaccinated. The state is at 58%. The hospital has currently 53 in the hospital. That was down 3. 4 are in ICU, and those are all unvaccinated, and 9 were admitted in the last 24 hours. As for the new variant, it is all over besides travel and untraveled patients, or traveled and unpatient people, so they are not distinguishing between travel and untravel. So that is all I have. We still have our PEDS clinics on Mondays, flu on Tuesdays, and COVID on Thursday and Friday, except for this Friday, the 24th, and Friday, the 31st.
All right.
And I will not be here next Tuesday. If there is anything that is coming up, Allison will chime in.
I would imagine we may have to address our COVID policies for the employees before the end of the month.
Yep,
So that'd be the only thing.
yep.
Okay, do you guys have any questions for Julie?
I don't.
All right. That's it. Thank you, Julie, and have a good Christmas.
Yep, you too. You guys have a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
Merry Christmas.
Consider signing mandate letter.
Chelsea's finishing printing it off, so can you give me just a minute with that?
Is this the federal government one
OSHA?
that's being challenged and
Yeah, but they've unstated,
but
and they're saying that,
Kavanaugh just asked Biden to respond. So it's starting to go through the Supreme Court thing now, and so it's like,
they're still saying we're gonna get penalties starting January 10th.
Really?
And our lawyers are saying that we should start the process.
Process of what?
You'll see when you get the letter.
so is this just one step? Okay, so it takes several steps to get to January 10th.
We also have policy letters, but we haven't even, we have them, like, copies of them, we have samples that we've like, I've had Chelsea type them out. I don't know how much you wanna do or not do. This is basically telling people we need to collect your vaccine card, or if you don't wanna be vaccinated, you need to get us.
It's the same thing that Julie was trying to do
I
a
know.
few weeks ago and had to do with her staff and with the board members. So,
That's exactly right, Suze.
Yeah,
Yep.
so,
And ours, in our office right now, we have everyone in place,
including your board members.
including my board members, yes.
And they haven't changed the definition of fully vaccinated?
Nope, they have not.
Okay.
Why these short deadlines like this on all of
What I've read is because it's an emergency mandate. If they would stretch out the mandate, or stretch out the deadlines, that's defeating the purpose of an emergency.
Okay.
Alright. Well, maybe while we're waiting for that, should we just go on to number 6 since Sean's here?
No, because I told Steve Becky that we would do that at 9:30.
Oh, okay, I guess that wasn't on my agenda.
Beth is gonna call in.
Okay. Alright, so do we wanna wait on this letter, or should we go on to the next one?
We can do the closed session. Kelsey's just waiting for us to call her, so.
Alright, well, we're gonna do a closed session quick.
Oh, got you.
Not that we don't like seeing you.
Bye-bye.
No.
Let's see, let me get that. Oh, she's gonna call, well, she's not here. She's gonna call my cell phone. This is the flu.
So she's watching.
Yes.
Alright, I'm gonna start by announcing the agenda. Possible closed session to discuss strategy with counsel in matters that are presently in litigation or where litigation is imminent, where its disclosure would be likely to prejudice or disadvantage the position of the governmental body in that litigation pursuant to Iowa Code Section 21.51C. I better get my glasses out for the small print. Okay, I've read that part of it. It is my understanding that legal counsel requests that this matter proceed in closed session. Is that right, Kelsey?
Can you hear him?
Not very well.
Okay, you're closer now. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's better. Thank you.
It is my understanding that legal counsel requests that this matter proceed in closed session. Is that right, Kelsey?
That's correct.
All right. The discussion with legal counsel is to discuss strategy regarding matters that are presently in litigation or litigation is imminent, and its disclosure would be likely to prejudice or disadvantage the position of Winnebago County in that litigation. I move that the discussion with legal counsel be made in closed session, as the purpose of this discussion will be to discuss strategy with legal counsel regarding matters that are presently in litigation or where litigation is imminent, and its disclosure would be likely to prejudice or disadvantage the position of Winnebago County in litigation. So I'll need a second to the motion.
I'll second that.
So on a motion from Derby and a second from Smith.
We need a roll call vote. Derby,
Aye.
Smith,
Aye.
Jensvold,
Aye.
All right. There were no nays. It was a unanimous vote. It has been moved to hold a closed session pursuant to Iowa Code Section 21.51C, and the members of the board have voted unanimously to hold the closed session. I ask that all persons other than the supervisors, legal counsel, and county auditor leave the room until we come into open session again. Thank you.
starting a
How
new
about the camera?
recording. Yep, it's in closed session mode.
Okay.
All
So,
right.
I believe, okay, so now we're ready to discuss.
Okay. So you guys probably remember a while back we entered into the litigation on that national opioid distribution settlement or litigation. They have come up with a settlement on that, and that's all that I wanted to talk to you guys about today. And then there are some documents to sign, assuming that we're on board. It's kind of complicated because the settlement actually involves multiple states, obviously local subdivisions. The total settlement is for $26 billion. 22.8 billion of that will end up being payable to states and local governments. That does not obviously just include Iowa; it includes multiple states.
Now the light's on.
It's flashing now.
It's flashing now.
It wasn't when you came out.
Can you just check the YouTube thing, make sure it's working? Thanks.
I don't know, is Kelsey calling in?
She's right here.
Okay. I told Kristen that I would text her, which I just did, so she'll be calling in. And then Beth Billieu is calling in at 9:30.
I'm on the line now.
Okay.
Okay?
You can-
There's the
Oh,
resolution.
that's Chris. Chelsea's still on here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want me to call into the line, or can you guys hear me okay?
I can hear you fine. You're right.
And then here's the memorandum of.
As long as you can hear everybody else, I guess.
My phone's probably not the best for you to be able to hear everybody else. That's would probably be the only thing.
Do you want me
Yeah,
to
I
step
can
over
just
there?
go ahead and call in. Maybe that'd be easier.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Okay. Yep. Thanks. Bye.
Oh, at the bottom.
This is Kelsey, I'm on.
All right, thanks.
I just texted Beth and told her to call in right now too.
So I signed the county one on this other memorandum one.
Yes, please. Did you get all the agreements for the redistricting signed last night?
I don't know if they were signed last night, but they were passed. I assume Daisy's probably gonna handle that today sometime.
Good.
And so, and then we amended our ordinance you know, or changed our ordinance to completely exclude that thing now moving forward, I figured that would give us more ammunition in dealing with the Census Bureau that here it is. It's out.
Okay.
Sometime after we're done here, I'm gonna have to get the resolution number and affidavit of publication and all that sort of stuff for you to sign a certificate indicating the true and accurate copies. So that we file that with the recorder before we file the deed.
Okay.
Well, there weren't any cities from Winnebago County that were big enough to qualify for that.
You said there were not?
No. Port City was not on there. They're not on there. It was started also.
Did you make a motion to do the resolution?
We did not yet.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I thought we did.
I asked if when we could do it.
Oh, okay. I guess we just did the motion to go out. Okay, so I'll entertain a motion for the approval of the resolution for settlement.
I'll make that motion.
A second.
Got a motion from Jensvold and a second from Smith to approve the resolution for settlement with opioid litigation. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. So we are now 0.234% of a statewide percentage. See, 50% goes to the state
State.
and 50% comes in, and we're 0.234 of that. So that's not a very big chunk of change. And I don't know what Iowa gets, what that number is on the 26 billion or whatever it is.
Yeah, I don't think we know that yet, because that does depend upon how many participate and whatnot.
I'd almost like to look through those percentages, you know, the cities, the bigger cities get a percentage of it, and they're not including the smaller cities, so do they give us a bigger percentage than the bigger counties because of that, to cover the small cities, or?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. I know there had been a lot of discussion about how they were going to work out that formula, and I know obviously there's some sort of per capita component, but I'm not sure if they ended up factoring anything else in or not. I was thinking they
Just
were
Terry
going
said.
to, that it was not going
She
to be
would Terry
strictly
that I
per
saw.
capita, but that would be the bulk of it.
Well, I'm sure there were some people on the ISAC board pushing for all-inclusive, so.
What number should Beth use to get in? The number she's got doesn't work. Uh, 641-591-6903. That's the one that doesn't work.
At all, or the participant code doesn't?
The call itself, the call-in number itself doesn't work. Is it?
Kelsey just called into it.
Yeah, hold on a sec. I can pull up what I used.
Yeah, I'm waiting. Kelsey called in, and she's checking the number that she used.
641-591-6903.
Yep, same one.
641-591-6903, and she got in.
And then there's the participant code
Okay.
you have to use.
Yeah, let's try that. we're gonna have Sean call both Kristen, or why don't we just, Kristen's already
I'm on the line.
Yeah, she got through. Okay, so, we'll put Sean on the line, or have Sean call you and put it on speaker on the desk, and we'll take it. Yeah, okay, I'll do that.
This is Kristen Fish-Peterson, I'm here.
Yeah, we're trying to get Beth in.
All right, she's
Oh, okay.
She's on the line, we'll put my phone on the desk,
Okay.
wherever.
Just put it right here. Okay, so it's 9:30. We're gonna go ahead and consider for approval final documents for former LEC.
We just give them to Bill.
Okay.
So we got that new verbiage in there. Did you find it? You saw it?
What verbiage is that,
Is
Susan?
that the 10-year
The 10-year.
renewable every 5?
Right, yeah, yeah,
Where-
that's in there.
Okay.
The other thing we did with the lease is that the cost of removing the tower is gonna be agreed upon at that time. You know, how do we know what's gonna happen later on and that sort of stuff, so let the parties hash it out at that time. And
Kelsey, the only question I had was, since that's the 911 commission equipment, can the county act on their behalf on this lease?
Yeah, so Carla had brought that up to me a while back, and I think we had talked about it actually a year ago when we started this. So unless we have a lease with the 911 commission, like where we have given them a lease for the next 100 years or whatever, I mean, our property, we're allowed to do what we want with it. If I recall correctly, nobody was able to find any sort of agreement or document between the county and the 911 commission. I think Andy had looked specifically for that a year ago when or longer now, I guess, when we started this. So absent any agreement between us and them, yes, we can move forward with it.
All right.
Kelsey, did you do a resolution authorizing the transfer?
I did. I sent it to Carla.
Okay.
All right. So I guess I'll make a motion to approve the final documents for the former LEC.
I have a question first. Now, when it comes to the,
Technically, we can't discuss it unless there's a second.
all right, well, then I'll second it and then have a
All right,
question.
go ahead.
On the lease for the tower, it's 10 years, and then we're gonna look at it every 5, right? When we look at it every 5, does it have to be approved by both sides in that? Or is it just something that we can look at it every 5 years and then we get to renew it? Or does it have to be a
It
mutual?
automatically, it's not terminated, is my recollection. I can pull it up here. I don't know if you guys have it in front of you or not.
Yeah, I was trying to find it and I didn't see it either.
What page is that on?
It's like within the first 5 pages, somewhere in there.
It's number 1, premises and terms.
Sure, sorry.
Yeah. With, for a term beginning on the date of the closing when tenant as seller transfers to landlord as buyer the above described property and ending on the 31st day of December 2031. This lease will automatically renew for successive 5-year terms unless the tower has been removed or the provisions of paragraph 12 of this agreement apply. And paragraph 12 is, you know, if a tornado or something like that comes through and knocks it down and it's damaged and you can't use it, that paragraph takes care of that contingency. And the tenant, which again is the county, may terminate this lease with or without cause anytime with 30 days written notice. In any event, this lease shall terminate December 31st, 2120, which by my calculations would be 99 years. So that is in the lease.
What page is that on?
It's first page,
It's the fixed page.
premises, number 1, premises and term.
So it's
No,
right under the legal description.
Of the lease.
Oh, it's the lease, and
Right.
then is what page? There's page numbers here,
That, you're in the development agreement.
all right? So there's nothing in this document.
Yeah, the development agreement, may I? The development agreement,
I'm lost here. You're gonna have to explain to me what document I'm looking for in this file.
okay, you are looking for the lease business property short form.
'Cause,
I've got a copy of it right here.
see, that's not in this document. I got a resolution, that's not what this,
Okay,
so we're gonna need a copy of that, maybe.
and that's the one that's been signed by Kristen. And then in the amended agreement for economic development, I think it's paragraph 4.1.
It's numbered page 5 of that, the very top of numbered page 5, Terry, in the development agreement.
And again, that refers to the lease and the language in the lease.
Why does this need to be notary public in and for the state of Wisconsin?
I didn't get the Wisconsin thing either.
We caught that. The one that I have here has been changed, so that,
I just wonder how Wisconsin ever got involved.
well,
I was gonna have the same question, Bill.
now that's correct there, because the notary, Kristen signed it out there. And
Oh.
here it
She's
is.
from Wisconsin?
Yeah,
Oh,
I figured that's what it was.
Yeah.
but-
all right.
Yeah,
For
but,
some reason,
so, we got it corrected so that the notary is correct. Okay.
All right.
Are you gonna still let me do the project if I'm from Wisconsin?
I have no problem with that.
No, I'm a closet Packer fan.
Okay.
My husband's from Wisconsin. I'm kind of fond of them, you know.
My grandfather was born in Greene County, which is right next to Kittywampus from Dane County in Madison. So,
A lot of my relatives went through Dane County.
Yeah.
There's still families up there.
Oh, if I remember right, my family went through Wisconsin too, but they left it.
Because that was the cheap way to immigrate to the United States, because you take
take
the,
St. Lawrence Seaway.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Milwaukee was a huge port of entry at one time.
all right. So we do have a motion on the table, and it would include this document and the other document that Bill's got probably.
And then there's a second resolution that would need to be passed for the land transfer itself.
Well, that's, I think, in that one.
Yeah. So if you approve all the documents in one motion, that's
Yeah.
great, and then have a resolution on the transfer of the land.
That'll be a
Greatly-
separate one then?
Yeah, I greatly appreciate it.
Okay.
This is the one for all of us too,
Yeah, we've got that one.
but we need that one back,
I
right?
know this, I handed you the wrong one.
And then, I emailed Kelsey this morning
This one's part of it.
the signed documents from Kristen. And Kelsey, I dropped off a package at your office also. And then,
Okay.
I am in and when I receive the others by snail mail, we'll get together and finalize everything, now that it's been approved. So. Carla, if you get everything signed, just keep
Okay.
This is a trip, so this will be a separate, this one's a separate one.
So the motion only includes this
So
one
you
right
can
now.
use two.
Yeah, it would include the promissory note that Kristen has signed. It would include the amended agreement for economic development, the lease business property short form, the real estate mortgage, that is signed only by Kristen, but you folks get to, you're the mortgagee, so you would also have to approve that. And then the resolution will take care of the transfer of the property.
All right. Any other questions on that?
First and second on that.
Yeah, I was first, Bill was the second. All right, so on a motion from Derby and a second from Jensvold to approve the agreements for the final documents for the former LEC. All those in favor say aye.
All right,
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Now we have I'll make a motion to approve the resolution number 2021 -01-01, which is the transfer of the property.
I'll second it.
Okay, we got a motion from Derby and a second from Jensvold for the transfer of property documents for Irish Hospital project. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
That one.
Kristen or Beth, we've got everything concluded, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We look forward to a finished project.
All right, I'm assuming we're just trading dollars. I'm paying you $1 and you're paying me $1.
Yeah, $1 for the property and $1 for the lease. So, yeah, we can do it that way. If not,
Okay.
I've got $1 in my pocket. I get 5.
I was watching a thing.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I was watching a thing on the Mackinac Bridge. When they got it all done, the guy that developed the project got to collect the first toll for the people coming across.
Yeah.
The guy wrote him a check, ceremonial. And they said, oh, and then he handed it to the guy that's actually supposed to collect the tolls, and he says, well, we don't take checks.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you.
Carla, I'll be back in touch with you then as soon as those documents come in.
Sure.
I think I got that. So are you, let's see, do we have to have notary on this one?
I'll get one of the people in my office to come and sign it.
Okay, so I'll just wait on that.
Yeah.
I don't want to get in trouble. All right, I guess we can go on to 7. We got everything before that done, right? Oh, mandate letter, did we get that?
Yeah, give it to Bill.
Go back to consider signing mandate letter. This just entails the public health.
No, this is for the county. This does not include public health.
Then why does the county need to do it? Because then we're less than 100.
Because they still count the public. Kelsey, are you still on the phone? Damn you. Sorry, did I say that before? Let me see if I can get her back on.
I really have a hard time moving forward with a mandate that is up in the air in the courts, and
I know, but
Well, I don't like-
Such a short, nobody likes it. but
I don't
there's
like
just-
any of it, but
Well, there's just a short amount of time that you're not gonna be able to
yeah,
fulfill it.
if we don't start
so what's the next step?
after this.
Yeah.
We have to have a policy.
So this doesn't take effect till there's a policy.
And we have the policy. I mean, you need to approve that too, probably. Probably should have that on the agenda for next week.
It can't all be done in one meeting.
We could,
I'd rather
Right.
do it all later in one.
but I need to start having people turn in their
She
backs.
needs all the paperwork and stuff, otherwise you're never gonna get that done.
I'm not
before
gonna
the
have it done
10th.
in time.
And then there'll be penalties, right?
Right.
What are the penalties?
It's like $1,300 a person and let me see if I can get a hold of her.
I'd rather go to COVID prison than sign any of this.
Hi.
Hello.
They had questions about the mandate stuff.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I didn't think there was anything else for me on there, sorry.
Yeah,
I guess I really, this thing's tied up in the courts right now. You know, Kavanaugh just said he wanted to hear back from the Biden administration, their comments on it, and we're gonna sign a mandate, so just in case it goes through.
So I was thinking you guys were just approving the letter that would go out to employees to make them aware that it's a possibility. And that if it does go through, here's what is required.
But, so we aren't gonna be collecting the data yet?
yes, that's what we need to start doing.
So this letter would allow her to start collecting the data.
Yes, because the problem is once, if it does go through, it will likely leave us very little time to collect that data. It's kind of like that. I mean, public health did the same thing. They signed their policy and started doing everything. That way it's in place and we're not facing some really terrible deadline, essentially. I don't really have a preference either way. It's going to be hard on the auditor's office if we don't start doing it now and then all of a sudden it gets approved. And hard on employees to, meet the requirements if they're planning to get vaccinated or whatever it might be.
Yeah, whether they're planning to get vaccinated, that they need to do that, or they need to have.
So is there also a test mandate in lieu of that?
Yes, there is for non-public health employees.
It's in there.
And that's that's part of the policy, things that you need to decide.
Right.
Are you gonna allow people to test versus getting the shot? Are you going to?
And who's going to pay for the
who's gonna
test?
pay for it?
Well, as of recent, probably announcing it today, that the government's gonna provide 500 million test kits.
And the
And,
CDC just came out and admitted that the test kits are really not that effective.
right, not accurate,
It's not accurate.
yeah, that's where the challenges are.
Bill, I can't hear you very well. I think that was you that just talked. I'm sorry.
The CDC just came out with the fact that they have no confidence in the accuracy of the test kits.
The home test kits,
The whole,
Oh, gotcha.
well,
Okay.
actually any of them, but,
So if we need to go forward with it simply to get information for Carla and her office, so that it's not gonna be this crazy rush, if it is required, we need to tell the employees that this is really just, this isn't happening yet.
Is it a-
Yes, yeah.
This is just that we're gonna need this information if it's required at some point.
so this isn't a violation of HIPAA?
was my question.
Now when it's a federal mandate or an OSHA mandate,
An emergency mandate.
and it's under, the information is strictly going to, I assume, Carla's office, who has medical information on all employees through insurance claims already. Wouldn't be any different than that.
Ask your question that you asked me about the employees and public health and.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
Bill wanted to know why we're over that 100 threshold when public health is a separate entity, basically, under different rules.
I
Because,
wasn't aware that public health is what put us over the 100, I guess, so that's something I'd have to look into.
yeah, that's our question, because we're just barely over 100 right now, aren't we? And if you
And
take
that's-
them out, that puts us under 100.
Yeah, they're still county employees, so I would guess that they still count, but that's certainly something we can look at,
It's called double
if
dipping.
that would, say that again.
That's double dipping on the rules.
What do you mean?
It's just like the public health are counted
They have two
Twice.
sets of rules.
twice, yeah.
So if you're putting them under one set of rules and then they group them with us, that's another set of rules. That's double dipping.
Again, this is the first I've heard of this, so I would have to look into that. So I was unaware that's what put us over the 100. So we can look into that. At the end of the day, we have to do what they tell us we have to do. So if they're going to require us to count public health, that's what we're going to have to do, whether we like it or not. But yes, that's something
We
I
don't
can look at.
necessarily have to do what they're telling us to do, because what they're telling us to do is wrong. We shouldn't do it. No more
Well,
people.
when you start getting fined thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars,
Well,
I
then we
think your
just don't pay
taxpayers
them,
might
and we
think
wait and we
differently.
go to COVID jail. I'm not gonna go along with any of this. There's all kinds of information that's being suppressed out there on the other side of this argument. And why do they suppress why is it that nobody knows that there's been an audit of deaths in Minnesota, and that the deaths in Minnesota, they've proven that 40% of them have nothing to do with COVID? Why is all this? I have a hard time going along with any of this when there is a lot of information out there that is being suppressed.
All I can tell you is that from a legal standpoint, if we're mandated to do something, I have to advise you to do it. Otherwise, we can suffer typically financial fines.
Well, I guess before I'd support anything like this, I'd like to know for sure that we qualify in that 100 or over, because I assume that we took public health out of the equation.
And that's fine. I have no problem with that. It affects me in no way whatsoever. It's the auditor's office and the other employees that have to gather their information and make decisions that it's going to affect, if we end up with a very short deadline. That is the only reason we are even addressing it.
I don't know how anything can be an emergency when about the same number of people died in Winnebago County in 2019 as 2020. I mean, where is the emergency?
And I'm not here for a political debate. I'm here to offer legal advice. So if you have any legal questions about it, I would answer those. I can look into the 100 employees. Not sure where I'll get that direction, but I can certainly see if there's some direction on that out there.
And there's only one way to stop something that shouldn't be, and that's to resist it.
And I'm not totally resisting. I just want to make sure we're covering all our bases before we jump. So I guess at this point, I'll make a motion to table this for further information.
I'll second it.
Any further, on a motion from Derby and a second from Jensvold to table the, where were we? It was back on number 6, no,
Number 3.
3. On signing the mandate letter, just to table it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? All right. Motion carries. So we'll get this information, put it on the next agenda, and go forward from there.
So just to be clear, what you need from me is to try to find out if public health would be counted in the 100 employees or not.
And why they have to qualify under 2 different sets of rules. If they say it's still in the 100 because it's their convenience, how does that qualify? I mean, you can't just put them under 2 sets of rules for their convenience.
I'm not sure I'll be able to answer that latter part of that, but I will see what I can find out.
Because Julie's complied
Yeah,
completely already.
so they should be taken out of the equation for those set of rules.
I totally understand your guys' argument. I don't have the answer.
Okay, well, let's see what we can find out.
Okay,
All
do you
right.
guys need me for anything else?
Nope, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Stay healthy.
Thanks.
Or I should've
Thanks,
said-
Kelsey.
I should have said get healthy.
Wayne's Cup.
There is something that they're baking or cooking in this place. Oh, it's the food from downstairs.
Potluck. Yeah.
Oh, no wonder it smells so good.
Kelsey's not here, but her cheesy potatoes are.
Hello.
We're ready for it.
I love those. Take a little break.
I don't wanna do this any more than you guys want me to do this. I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. I don't know what,
I don't wanna pay $13 to $15 to $2,000 an employee for not complying.
And I would rather, the only way we ever got out of CSS is because we had to raise a stink. We had to not pay the money that we were supposed to pay in order to get people to look at what was going on. And this is gonna be the same thing. If people just go with it and comply, it's gonna happen. If people resist it, then it's gonna draw attention to it, and people are gonna start seeing what the real truth is. And
Have you talked to your other auditors around, Carla? What are people doing? I mean, not that should help us form.
No.
I have not about this. I have not. I would assume that most people are just going with the flow and doing what they're supposed to.
that's what we assume, maybe not. There's probably a lot of people who think just like I do. It's, why have thousands and thousands of doctors been banned off of social media that are on the opposite side of this? They got a group called the Frontline Doctors that are.
Hey, you guys.
Morning. Well, what's happening in the road department?
Oh, just stockpiling in Thompson. Have either today or tomorrow will be the last day. Haul into there, and then we'll switch to Lake Mills. So doing good on that so far. Other than that, just working on a truck and kind of the day-to-day stuff, really. Nothing too surprising, I guess, which is good.
Yeah, I'd rather enjoy boring weather.
Yeah. Looks like there's a possibility of a couple days in the future, but we'll see what that brings.
Yeah, it just wasn't snow. I guess we had some that wasn't exactly boring weather.
Yeah.
Was there any damage to any of the county stuff with all the wind and?
No, not to any of our buildings or anything like that. Really, all we had was, there was a couple trees over by Lake Mills. Rice Lake had one across the road, and north of Dingy, there was one across the road, but
Friday, I had to go to North Springs, and I saw farm places that had considerable damage from all the way over and all the way back, so.
yeah, it looked like for our county, Buffalo Center was probably the worst for
I
building.
think some stuff flew around out of the landfill. Actually, I've been noticing landfill
Trash.
debris.
Is it stamped landfill?
I'm pretty sure it is. And on that whole road, and it seems like when they clean, they only clean not the whole road, that whole blacktop, and I've actually been getting some complaints about before that big wind even too, so I don't know, what do we do about that? I mean, is that it's in the road ditch.
Yeah. I know we've talked to them in the past when it's gotten bad, and they usually hire some people to come pick it up and stuff,
Yeah.
but
I've not seen that recently.
no. I noticed when we had a concrete patch there a couple weeks ago or so, and there was quite a bit alongside the fence in there, but
So who deals with that?
Well, the manager of the landfill.
But I mean,
yeah. For
do you
county,
go to them and tell them that they need to clean up their act?
yeah, I guess would be a good starting point.
Okay,
It's really tough out there. It seems like there's a lot of switch around and who's in charge, and
okay. I have had a few calls about it recently,
okay.
so
I'll-
probably be good if we,
I'll call out there.
thank you.
I wonder if do they hire like nonprofits to do it as projects?
I'm not sure on that. I know
Seems
at
like
one
at
time,
they were doing that.
sure.
It was so bad recently that I thought, oh, good, look, it looks like they've walked it and they've left their bags, you know how they leave the bags so, no, I don't think so.
Yep.
So, it'd be nice if we could address that, thank you.
Yep, we'll do.
Anything else? From you guys? You guys got any more questions?
Nope.
All right. Consider for approval, resolutions to purchase equipment for the secondary road department.
So, I guess I talked to you guys all last week a little bit, met with you guys, and then I talked to
To
you
make it clear, individually.
individually, yep. So, I guess proposal, we had a case backhoe, had since '94, pretty rough condition. We'd be looking at trading that for a 908 compact wheel loader, which we would use for all sorts of different applications. We'd be able to use it more than what we use the backhoe for now. We'd be able to use our skid loader attachments on it, so that's stuff that we already have, which wouldn't cost any more purchase. Be able to use it out at Rice Lake, I guess. Cat said they would give us 15 per trade. That's what they bumped up to.
Are you better off doing that or going through the online auction thing?
I think that's actually a pretty fair price at looking at other backhoes out there right now and what they're asking for them. Considering that we have a skid loader bucket on our backhoe right now. It's not an actual backhoe bucket. So that drops the value of it. Because you wouldn't want to go into a pile of dirt with that. I think you'd have it ripped apart in a day. It's a pretty thin bucket. Works for loading salt, what we use it for, but it's about max to its capabilities on that. We replaced the floor in it 6 or 7 years ago, which the floor looks good in it now, but underneath that floor is kind of a nightmare to look at.
What are you gonna use to load the salt without this?
We would use the 908 loader. So the nice part about that is the engine's in the rear, you're not dumping. When you're lifting the bucket up, you're not dumping salt accidentally on the hood of the backhoe. I mean, that's where the majority of the rust is on the front of that, where the engine is at. So, and like right now, the backhoe, I guess if like an exhaust manifold will break, could possibly look at more money to fix it than just an exhaust manifold, because underneath that hood's a lot of rust.
So what was the cost outlay on this then with trades?
So 102,000 is the 908 loader, and then with the $15,000 trade-in, we'd be looking at just a little over $87,000. $87,382.36.
Did you say you were gonna use, the auction proceeds?
Yep. So we had our spring auction where we auctioned off 2 dump trucks. What else? Bunch of pickups.
What was the total on that auction?
Old bulldozers.
Yeah, 2
Well-
bulldozers.
The auction generated, I think it was over 200,000, but we split that into 2 categories for revenue. It's new equipment and supplies. So I dug out what we had just on the equipment side, and we had budgeted 20,000 in revenue. So The amount above and beyond that was about 167,000 in revenue that wasn't budgeted, so it would be basically sitting in an account ready to be authorized. This will make our budget look upside down until an amendment is done, so we would have to do that in the future when we do an amendment.
Now, did the 167, that does not include the dozers and scrapers that were paid?
It does include,
Oh, it does?
it does include that as well, yeah. It's the auction revenue from the spring as well as the dozers.
All right.
Yeah.
So you're getting rid of a backhoe tractor,
Tractor backhoe.
and buying, you're talking like a payloader, is that what you're,
Yeah, it's a mini payloader.
all right, mini payloader, all right.
So you could actually haul this somewhere on a smaller trailer if you wanted to. What's the weight on that thing?
I'm not 100% sure. It'd be too big for like our skid loader trailer. We could, I guess, put it on the deck over trailer and haul it behind the dump truck, but it'd be too big for a pickup.
But it goes 22 miles an hour.
It goes 22 miles an hour down the road, so the same as what our bigger loaders would do.
And your skid loader attachments would work on this
Yep,
piece
right.
of equipment.
Yep, no fabricating, nothing.
So like all over the county though?
Yep.
Right, I mean,
Yeah, I
can
guess
you
we have,
drive 22 miles an hour with, to get wherever you need to go?
yeah, I guess like the future, the plan would be to, 4 cities got a backhoe, tractor backhoe, and Buffalo Center does too. So that, in the future, get rid of them and get all loaders.
How old are those?
The loader in Buffalo Center is a 91, and the one in 4 City is like a 2007.
But the urgency on this one is more useful out of Rice Lake in that area right now.
Rice Lake in that area, it's, out of the 3 backhoes, it's the one in the worst shape.
That's the urgent part of it.
Yeah.
It's the condition.
Didn't it like not start and you had to put something, new parts on it?
We rebuilt the injection pump this year. It's been out 3 times and it's broke down 3 times. And it's our main piece of equipment in the wintertime loading trucks for salt, so if that goes down, we're scrambling to do something.
Well, I guess I feel like the use of the payloader is gonna be much more beneficial to the effort than that backhoe.
A little more versatile piece of equipment for doing things, I can see that. And the fact that they're gonna use the proceeds from their auctions and stuff is, I guess I don't have a big problem with it, so.
We'll just have to do that amendment later.
I agree.
I guess the second part of that is there's a 305 mini excavator also that we'd like to purchase, but, and the whole scale, like it being eventually when we get the other 2 backhoes done, then this mini excavator will always be in Thompson, so it'd be centrally located. I guess the price between the 908 loaders, they're at like 102,000, where a tractor backhoe price for a new one is like 125. So if we went out and bought all 3 tractor backhoes compared to all 3 908 loaders, the price difference is basically we'd be saving the money so we could have this 305 mini excavator.
Which would eliminate the need for the backhoes on the tractors.
Yep.
Centrally located, it's, and you said that one was small enough to be on the skid loader trailer, right?
Yep, it weighs less than our skid loader, so it would go right on the skid loader trailer, so there is no, like, for our tile projects that we're always doing now, you're working on anywhere from 4-inch tiles to 10-inch tiles that can be a foot deep, or they could be 8 foot deep. I mean, that's the average of them. We're using the 305 mini excavator, we're making less of a footprint out there working and quicker. We're driving a pickup with a skid loader trailer instead of hooking up to a low boy, hauling that around for small projects. We would also obviously use it on more projects than that. I mean, we have our Rice Lake project coming up in the spring that we would use it on. We'd even be able to use it on our bigger projects, like our bridge projects, putting in driveway pipes and CMP pipes for tile going to outlets and stuff like that.
So can you clarify the mini excavator part of this? Is this on the same resolution?
It would be
Separate resolution.
separate.
Okay.
I probably should have listed them there separately on the agenda, but I have them on two separate resolutions, so you can make decisions independently.
And the mini excavator is how much?
72,000, just under 73,000.
So you're still coming in
Under.
about the price of, or the money that you got from the auction. It's gonna cover it.
So there's no trade on that, just straight out?
That would be our straight out.
That was part of the thing too, was that it's actually available.
Yep, these two pieces of equipment are actually available. I put her name on the mini excavator just because we could and Josh wasn't gonna penalize us just for in case, so he didn't sell it. He said that they have their name on one to come in March. They might get it, they might not, so,
Yeah, I wouldn't count on anything right now.
yeah.
So should there be two motions or, okay?
Yeah.
Do you have a number on the resolutions?
There's the first one. There's the second one. Duplicate copies of the resolutions, and then the quotes attached to the bottom if you want to look at that at all. So I think the first decision would be the first resolution, which is the loader trade for backhoe trade for loader.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 12-21-21-20-001 for the purchase trade of a backhoe for a wheel loader.
I'll second that.
Motion from Derby and a second from Smith to approve the trade of a backhoe for a wheel loader. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, motion carries. That's the second resolution there.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution number 12-21-21-20-002.
I'll second it.
A motion from Smith and a second from Gensvold to approve said resolution for the purchase of a mini excavator, just under $73,000. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, motion carries. Sign those.
Yep.
Yeah.
Back to you.
I should mention too, we'll most likely have the motor grader purchase on the next week, agenda 2, and that's a purchase for the coming fiscal year, because the lead time on that's quite a bit further out in order to get it.
They're not sitting around.
I guess not.
It's a minimum of 10 months. And that's
And where is that coming from?
come from Ziegler, or through Ziegler, but we build them in Brazil.
No kidding.
Wow.
All that.
There's a factory in the United States, but they also build end loaders, I think, there too. So so that their motor grader out,
Peoria, Illinois, it's cat you're talking about, right?
yeah.
There's a factory there.
I don't,
I know they build the dozers there. I've seen them sitting there before going through. At
sure,
least they used to. I've been there through there.
I wanna say it's in Kentucky is the only other place in the United States that they do the motor graders, but it's a very small portion. So, most likely it would come from Brazil.
Talked a little bit too about replacing our Mack truck, and we're striking out for replacement options for that, so that'll most likely wait a while.
So the grader was, in the budget. No, that's
Well,
next year's
It'll
budget.
be next year's budget, which we haven't even looked at yet,
Right.
so this is unusual, I guess, compared to the past. We'll try and get you.
What else was gonna be on that budget?
In that budget, we were looking at a grader, a replacement for our Mack truck, the one that pulls our low boy and belly dump, side dump trailer, and then maybe a pickup or two. That's what we were looking at. Will really be subject to change probably. I mean, the motor grader, hopefully we can lock in, but the truck, we haven't been able to find a dealer that can, where we can make an order even. So we'll just kind of have to see what the market does and what the availability looks like, and we'll just keep in touch with them and see if that's the purchase we want to make, or, you know, if we need to replace something else instead. We'll be thinking about that 9 months from now, or a year, or whatever. It's really getting hard to plan. So we kind of just been talking about all the options for what needs to be replaced in the next year or two or even 3, and seeing what comes available, and maybe we'll just have to kind of move back and forth on that. I mean, at some point, we're gonna need a plow truck too. We'll just
We
have to
can talk
keep an eye
about
on
that
it.
at budget time.
Yeah,
Give us an updated inventory.
yeah, maybe next week I can even give you kind of a overview of what our budgets looked like in the last couple of years, and what our equipment plan looks like for the next couple of years, so you kind of have a bigger picture of what we're thinking about.
I'm sure we got millions more in that infrastructure bill that was passed.
It's about as clear as mud at this point, I think.
Didn't make it down here, I'm sure.
Yeah, all we can hope for is that all the, formula money that we get gets increased, and that doesn't ever seem to be the case. It always goes to.
Aren't you talking about the infrastructure bill?
Which one are you talking about? The one that hasn't passed or the one that passed?
Well, it's a little bit of both, but, the infrastructure bill is because only 10% of it actually goes for infrastructure, the rest of it is all.
Oh, that was the Build Back Better one.
Yeah.
The one that passed seemed like it included a lot more mass transit stuff.
Yeah, that stuff
And
doesn't get
earmark
close to us.
projects.
I think that we'll see a little bit more bridge money out of, what are they calling it lately? Bipartisan infrastructure law, since it's been signed, the bill.
Versus the.
But it's really too early to say. And, our county would probably see pretty modest increases if anything.
Well, let's move forward. Number 9, approved plans and specifications for A16 R74 paving project, FM CO 95 82 55 95.
Yeah, you all probably noticed I didn't send you any more information on this, and that's because we've been waiting. So when we get check plans done, we send them to the DOT, and they have a plan review team, and they have to get their comments back to us, and we update them for the final plans. Well, their backlog has caused them to miss this deadline, unfortunately. So we don't have comments back from them, so I thought we'd just wait until we have that and kind of a more final set of plans for you guys to review and sign. So I think at this point it'd be best just to table it.
Okay. All right. Talk to you later. Have a good Christmas.
Sounds good, thank you.
Have a good one, guys.
Do you get signed copies of these resolutions?
I did.
We're ready
Thank
for
you.
you.
Perfect. Did you have your payroll?
They don't bring their own.
Oh, it's all in one.
It's all one.
Yeah, that's right, that's right.
We're still getting used to it too.
Yeah,
Throw 'em
yeah,
off.
yeah.
I was like, geez. Payroll, that's been a real adjustment lately.
Hmm.
So, that's all I can say about it.
With that.
Chris is coming.
I have some stuff here. Let's see what I got.
Sorry, didn't mean to.
No, you're
That's
fine.
Keep it moving.
God, it just seems like it was just 2 years ago that you could get everything you needed. What's that?
I don't know what changed.
It's so much better now, isn't it?
Are you better off now than you were when we were growing up? Good morning, Chris.
How's it going?
Good morning.
I don't have anything.
Super cute shirt.
Thank you.
This is
Nothing?
expenditures.
That's good.
I know.
This is the payroll. There you go.
So I did not check on what you had wanted last week.
On the
That-
resolution.
that
to
resolution.
Cover
I don't have an answer for that yet.
Okay.
But.
Yeah, I hear all this news about concerned people down in Hancock County over that new pipeline project.
Yeah, because it will go through some of Hancock County. Yeah, Ann said at that meeting that they've been in talks with them for a long time now. Yeah, that it's going really well as far as the talks have gone.
Didn't sound like the farmers were happy, but
That I don't know about, so.
Yes, it
Well,
should
it's
be.
good to be proactive on that.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long time away yet before that even happens.
Well, I thought pipelines were awful and we had to close them all.
You like to
Besides
start,
that, we
you like to start stuff, don't you, Beth?
Besides that.
I believe we're talking about drainage matters,
No,
not,
okay, all right, we'll forget about pipelines.
we'll just try to keep to the agenda.
So that's all I know.
Yeah, I don't have anything.
Okay.
You guys have anything?
Nope, nothing.
All right, well, you guys have a very Merry Christmas.
You too?
Yes. See you next week.
Open forum.
There's a manure management there, Bill.
Do you have minutes to sign?
I put them in a different spot and then I forgot where I put them.
Your table's so big, so.
I know, I get lost.
make a motion for the semi-monthly county claims.
Second it.
Get a motion from Smith and a second from Jensvold to approve the semi-monthly county claims. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Century Ag,
Century Ag?
Joyce.
What you got in your lap there?
344, 380th Street. I'll look it up.
380th would be,
In Worth County.
oh, it's in Worth County.
It's Joyce's address.
I still don't think we have the right documents for this,
South Joyce. It's like
that transfer.
south of the curve. Amy and Wally.
No, because the one that we ended up with has Wisconsin and Iowa in for the wrong people,
That is on the
I thought he
Century
said he
Farm.
had changed it.
but it's not on this one.
Really?
I don't know if he took that with him. Do you have different documents for the Peterson Fish thing? Because the ones that we ended up with have Wisconsin as us and Iowa for her.
Oh, I don't know about that. I have,
It's the one he was
so
holding in his
which
hand
document
was-
are you talking about?
What's that?
Which document are you talking about?
The amended agreement for
I think the one
economic
that he was holding in
development.
his hand was the only one that was,
The one he was holding in his hand was the lease agreement, wasn't it? The one I copied off.
Yeah. Well, it's not right. Still, yeah, board meeting.
Who's Randy Lindeman?
No.
Is that the jailer's part, or? Carla, do you know who Randy Lindeman?
Huh?
Randy Lindeman?
Nurse.
Yeah, that's in the house.
Okay.
Julie's.
Don't recognize. Thing about horse copy, he needs plenty of documentation to cover it, so.
We'll have Chelsea come notarize this for us. What is today, 21st?
Yes.
Shortest day of the year.
Thank you. I think we'll have more,
Just that
but I don't think we have the proper documents right now.
My dad always said that he was smarter than his brother. Tomorrow will be my dad's 61st anniversary. And he got married on one of the longest nights of the year, but his brother got was on the 21st of June. The shortest night, he wasn't very smart.
Mom and Dad's anniversary was Sunday. We're finally back together.
Yeah, there you go.
So, I guess we're done with payroll.
We haven't, I'll make a motion, or did you already do that?
Nope.
Oh, that
I'll
was
make a
claims.
motion to approve the payroll claims.
A second.
Okay, I've got a motion from Jensvold and a second from Smith to approve the payroll claims. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. I believe we stand adjourned.